Yes.
All right, let's do some speaking practice now. So welcome to another video. So today, class IELTS 43, there are Miss Sarah and Miss Trúc. It's going to do their speaking practice. So Mr. Trio is no longer with us because he's busy with work and a lot of um, things after his exam. Anyway, let's not talk about him when he's not here. Anyway, so 24. Let's do 24, okay? So, Miss Sarah, do you like to travel by car?
No, actually, I don't like travel by car because
You don't like traveling by car, right?
I don't like traveling by car. Because I'm a car sick, so
Oh, you have car sickness.
yeah. So I prefer to travel by motorbike
It's
or
interesting
or
because on
or
motorbike, the road's actually even worse, you know.
yeah,
But some people they have car sickness, but they do not have motorbike sickness. Weird, right?
it's normal.
Strange. I mean, for me, I think it's strange. Like for example, I never have airplane sickness, but sometimes I do have car sickness, and I never really have motorbike sickness. Anyway, so Mr. How often do you travel by car?
It seems that I don't have many chance to
I don't have much
travel
chance
have
to.
much chance to travel by car, but every day I travel to my company by motorbike, and I think it's a popular means of transport in Vietnam.
Mhm.
And
Popular means of transport, you mean?
means of
Mean cái chữ
transport.
means á, a popular means of transport. Okay. So, Mr. Do you like to sit in the front or the back when traveling by car?
For me, I I love sitting in the front of because I can observe the outside through to to the windows, car window, and it made me feel more comfortable when I have some things to distract myself from being um tired from being tired because sitting a long time in a contained space, such as car, inner, and besides that, I love enjoy the sightseeing.
I see. How about you, Mr.? Do you like to sit in the front or the back when traveling by car?
Uh, yeah, I like to sit in the front of the car when traveling. When I travel, because in the front I can see the roads and the uh sightseeing beside on the road. So
I can
uh,
do sightseeing, right?
yeah, I can do sightseeing. So it make me feel relaxed and when
Relax, and
when I sit in front, I the air also feel more
the
fresh.
air is
The air
also.
also feel more fresh because if you sit behind, there are a lot of people in front of you, and you couldn't see
couldn't see the roads and the um kind a lot of smell, a lot of
A lot of people smell you don't like it, no? I
it's
see. But do you think sitting in the back of the car is a safer option, Miss Sarah? An
uh
toàn hơn chứ nhỉ?
I don't think it's safer. It's safer if you sit in the back of the car. Uh, because when I travel on the car, I saw that uh the back of the car normally more shaking than the front. So if there any car accident, it maybe you will be affected more and I read somewhere that the safe the safest place is right behind
Is
the driver.
what do you say? The secret place is
Safe, safest
the
safest
safest place.
safest
Nơi an toàn nhất, the safest place. The safest
safest
place is
behind the driver.
behind the driver's seat, right? I agree. Because if something happened, it's the driver that die first. you know, and you won't be affected that much, I think. My God, what am I saying? Okay, so where is the longest journey you have traveled by car?
Oh, the longest journeys that I used to travel by cars is to travel to Nha
Hmm.
province. Uh,
Province hay
that's a
province? Hmm.
Nha Trang. I
Province, right? Is it a
Nha Trang,
province?
Nha Trang
It's a
City, Nha Trang
city.
City. Yes,
Wait, Nha Trang belong to Khánh Hòa province,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Oh, I
Nha Trang
see.
City. I I think that travels by car to
Traveling.
uh,
I
traveling
think traveling by car.
by car for a long distance trip is a good idea because people uh have a comfortable place to
To sit or sick. Cẩn thận. To
sit
sit. A
sit
comfortable place to sit.
to sit.
Mhm.
Cars are often more comfortable, especially for bad weather,
Hmm.
such as uh, extreme sunny day or rainy day. I think
Hmm.
people who not monitor this device
Doesn't
can sit
monitor. Who doesn't monitor?
doesn't doesn't monitor this mm, device can sit back, uh, relax and enjoy air conditioning and even take a nap.
Even take a
Of
nap.
course, of course, is it make the role of people who is the driver more
Okay.
important than ever because they have to focus on driving the car. So I think if a family which want to travel by cars need to have two people who can drive to take turn and ensures ensure that uh, their
Ensure.
trip
To ensure
to
that.
ensure to ensure that their trips is truly safe.
Okay. Very good. So, Sarah, do you prefer to travel by car or by motorbike? And why or why not?
It depends on
It
where I
depends on. It depends on.
it depends on where I tend to travel to. If the distance equal, if the distance is quite far, I prefer to travel by car because it will be safer and I have more time for resting on the car. I don't need to focus on driving and yeah, I can do something like
Listening
listen
to
music or watching movie and or chatting with friends and but if the
attracting good friend. What do you mean?
chatting
Chatting with friends, I say.
but if
Location.
the location is not quite far from my place, I prefer to travel by motorbike.
I prefer to travel by motorbike.
Because
Cẩn
the
thận cái âm cuối nha. I prefer to travel by motorbike.
because I can see
Yes,
I can
I
have
can do some
fresh
sightseeing. Yeah,
air. Yeah, I can have fresh air and so I can sightseeing
I can
do
do some sightseeing.
do some sightseeing.
And also, I think you may almost always feel less tired if you travel by car, right? Đi bằng xe hơi thường sẽ cảm thấy bớt mệt hơn. All right, let's do some part 2. Okay, that's running for part 2. Let's see. I need my cat to get out of my computer. Oh my God, get out. I have a lovely cat. She always wanna sit beside me when I work, But honestly, it's annoying at times. Now let's do number 99. Part 2, sorry. Part 2, topic number 99 is did we do this one before? I got a feeling that we did this one before. Describe an important decision that you made. Miêu tả một cái quyết định quan trọng mà bạn đã thực hiện. You should say what the decision was, how you made your decision, what the results of the decision were, and explain why it was important. Chú ý cái động từ nha. Nó ở cái động từ gì? Thế nào? Careful with your verb forms. Okay, verb forms. Okay, part 3. Do you think children sometimes have to make important decisions? Bạn có nghĩ rằng trẻ nhỏ đôi khi cần phải quyết định những cái quyết định quan trọng không? So think about sometimes they have to choose their let's say sometimes they have to choose their classes, they have to choose their sports. Sometimes they have to choose a sport they want. Sometimes they have to choose which friend to hang out with, which friends to hang out with. But those are not very important decisions, I think. Those are okay, important. But sometimes they have to choose.
To live with mom or dad.
Sorry?
I mean, sometimes children must to choose to live with
Exactly. Like let's say if parents undergo a divorce, let's say nếu mà cha mẹ ly hôn chẳng hạn. If parents undergo divorce, children must decide who to live with. But I think sometimes the decision is not theirs to make. Sometimes I think the court will decide for them, I think. Đôi khi tòa án quyết định giùm cho mấy đứa nhỏ này, đâu phải mấy đứa nhỏ quyết định không ta? But sometimes I think the children must decide who to live with. And of course, they will decide to live with whoever they feel the safest, whoever they feel the most comfortable, Sẽ chọn sống với người nào làm nó cảm thấy thoải mái nhất thôi. Cảm thấy an toàn nhất. Sorry. Sometimes they have to make decisions, like for example, to join a to join a sport team, to compete in a competition or not. Those are important decisions because it can affect their future, you know. Những cái ảnh hưởng, những quyết định đó ảnh hưởng đến tương lai của nó nha. Tham gia vào lớp này hay không, có tham gia vào đội tuyển hay không, ở với ai. Sometimes, of course, it's important. They have to do it. Now, next question. What important decisions do teenagers need to make after graduations? I think teenagers here means 12, 13 years old and all the way until 18 years old, I think. Cái chữ tuổi teen là thực sự là từ 12, 13 tuổi, nhưng mà nó còn kéo dài đến tận 18 tuổi lần nha. Những bạn tuổi teen phải quyết định những cái quan trọng nào sau khi tốt nghiệp. Graduation here, I think mean graduation from high school, I think. Tốt nghiệp từ cấp 3. So what important decision do teenagers need to make after graduation? Let's talk about whether to take a gap year or to go immediately to college or university. Liệu có để 1 năm để quyết định là mình có nên học cái gì hay không, gap year xong rồi đi làm bên ngoài ha. You can take a gap year, you can decide to not go to university yet. You can just try to work, try to see which work fits you, you know, something like that. This is a gap year. Or some people, they just go immediately to college. That is your decision. Very important one. You need to also think and act on how to earn income, how to make a living on a minimum wage. Làm thế nào để mà sống được với một cái lương tối thiểu? Of course, because remember, you only out of high school now. Giờ mới 18 tuổi, mới ra khỏi trường cấp 3 thôi. Thì đương nhiên lương sẽ là lương tối thiểu rồi đó. Họ phải suy nghĩ và phải hành động làm thế nào để kiếm thu nhập. Think and how to earn living, how to earn income, how to make a living on a minimum wage. And what important decision they need to make, whether to take a loan from the bank to pursue their university education or not. Liệu có nên mượn tiền từ ngân hàng để mà theo đuổi cái chuyện giáo dục trên đại học hay không? Tại vì nhiều khi gia đình đâu có giàu. A lot of families they do not have the finance. Nhưng cầm đầu nha. They have finance to help their children in university. So they need to take loan from the bank, you know. Phải mượn là ngân hàng xong rồi từ từ trả lại nha, phải không đâu. And also they need to decide where to study abroad or not, to find a place to rent, you know. A lot of decisions, trust me, a lot of important decisions. Now, who can children turn to for help when making decisions? Trẻ nhỏ có thể xoay qua ai để mà hỏi giúp khi mà quyết định? You think about this one. Who do you think advertisement can influence our decisions when shopping? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng những mẫu quảng cáo có thể ảnh hưởng những quyết định của chúng ta khi mua sắm không? I think you guys know the answer for this. It depends on like what group of people, I think. Nó tùy vào cái nhóm tuổi nào, nhóm nào nữa. And also it depends on whether you need to buy those things or not, you know. Nếu mà mình thực sự cần mua là coi như cái mẫu quảng cáo nó ảnh hưởng mình nhiều lắm luôn á. When you really need to buy something, advertisement affect you a lot, so I think. Compared to when you don't really need them, I think. Okay. Do you think the influence of advertising is good? Anh chị có nghĩ rằng ảnh hưởng của quảng cáo là tốt hay không? How do people usually make important decisions? Con người ta làm thế nào thường là những quyết định quan trọng vậy? Think about how they procrastinate, trì hoãn. They often procrastinate when they make important decisions, and sometimes they make decisions at the last minute, you know. Họ quyết định ở phút chót mà, thường là vậy. And so, but of course, a lot of people, they make an informed decision. They make an informed decision with all risk considered. Đương nhiên là một số người họ sẽ quyết định những cái quyết định mà có được thông tin đàng hoàng, người ta biết người ta quyết định cái gì dựa vào những thông tin đáng nói, với tất cả mọi cái nguy cơ là được cân nhắc hết. You know. Okay, so you have some time to think about this one. Remember, task 2, describe an important decision that you make. Okay. Okay, Miss Trúc, please. Can you describe an important decision that you made?
Yes, I would like to mention an important decision that I believe has greatly impacted my current job is to choose to work part-time as a kitchen assistant at a restaurant during my
Sorry, as
first
a what kind of assistant?
assistance kitchen assistant.
Kitchen assistant. You mean like,
Yes,
okay, I got it. So you assist the cook.
yes, at a restaurant during my first year of university. Honestly, at that time, I just wanted to focus on studying and didn't want to be distracted by anything else. However, my friends convinced me by pointing out the benefits, which I later realized when applying for jobs. I was hired for a position related to my major thanks to the experience I gained working in the kitchens at that time. According to the interviewer's explanation, that's the job paved the way for a smoother transition into higher paying position that related to my major. Of course, until today, I'm still grateful to the friends who helped me.
Who helped me to make that important decision.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Now, Miss Sarah, please describe an important decision that you made, please.
Yes, for me, one of the important decision I made before that I quit my job and go on studying as a master degree. At that time, after graduated from university, I got a decent job as bank and after few
You got a decent job at a bank, right?
as a bank and after few years, I learned a lot from my position, and I also had a really good experience with colleague and working environment. But at that time, I still feel I want to learn something new because when we were young, we want to
We were young and free. We were young and free, we want to try things, you know.
something like that. We want to develop yourself as
Develop.
much as possible.
I wanted to develop as much as I can, you know.
So I decided
I decided.
to quit my job and and went to university the second time for higher education.
Oh.
And no, and now when I look back, and I saw that's a valuable decision. It it didn't make me become more successful or richer.
Successful, nhớ không?
Successful,
Mấy cái
successful, successful,
successful.
successful or richer. But I learned a lot from teacher and my classmates, and I also experience the new thing and visit many new places. So I consider it's the memorable experience in my life, and if I it's the important and good decision I made in my life.
Okay, that's a very good one. Just be careful with your verb. The verb you use, okay? It need to be in past tense.
Yeah.
Now, so Miss Sarah, do you think children sometimes have to make important decisions?
Yes, I think children sometimes also had to make important decisions as the level
Decisions, DZ nha. Decisions.
decision as the level. They maybe don't need to make
Day, maybe.
they maybe don't need to make a big decision là relate to career
Related to, có liên quan với, related
to career or financial issue, but
Yes.
as the level, they also need to think need to consider about some
Consider cái gì đó thôi, không có giới từ nha, không consider bao nha. They need to consider something
like making friends or adapting to new environment, and they or how to behave. It maybe look normal, but I believe for children, they also a kind of important decision.
Of course. Now, so what do you think, Ms. Trúc? What important decisions do teenagers need to make after graduation?
I believe that after graduation, teenagers often face
Teenagers. No, nhưng không đầu. Teenagers. Từ gốc là teen.
teenagers often face many big and life-changing decisions, especially about futures, educations, or not. That means they should think carefully about keep going to university, college, or buy a job, and it depends on um, each person's situations, especially about their financial situation or
financial situations.
Yes, and or their ability. Some people decide to apply for a job because they don't want to continue their higher continue to their higher education, but some ones want to pursue to get a better degree for higher salary position in the future. And of course, besides that, choosing a career path.
Career path.
Choosing a career path should be into consideration.
Okay, very good. So, Miss Sarah, do you think who can children turn to for help when making a decisions, like parents, teachers, other friends, maybe?
Yeah, I think children might will turn to
Will turn to
the person they believe when they need to make a decision.
decision.
Decision. So it's maybe their parent or teacher or some relative who makes them feel comfortable to share about their issue and uh, ask for advice.
Okay. And so what do you think, Mr. Who can children turn to for help when making a decision?
For me, sometimes children think that their friends often give their more effective advice than their parents or teachers because they can they can feel the connections between their relationship. So they can find an advice for their problems, such as studies, such as study work. That sometimes their friends can be a good teacher than their real teacher because they can act without any hesitation.
You know what?
Sometimes,
You know what? These days, children can ask ChatGPT. When making a decision. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Nó hỏi AI, giờ hỏi ChatGPT để mà quyết định. Yeah, sometimes they do that,
yes, but I think most most of children still
Most
love
children, hoặc là most of
most
the children nhé.
most of the
À,
children still love communicating with their friends,
are you
with their
sure?
peers.
Are you sure?
I think that's um because humans are uh
Social creatures, you mean?
social creatures.
Creatures.
Yes,
Social creatures.
creatures, social creatures, and need a connections. I still believe that.
Yeah.
Even ChatGPT can be a good uh, replacement in
Okay.
some way,
Oh,
but communicating with
so
other who share the emotion with you is still better.
you think?
I think.
All right. So, Miss Sarah, do you think the influence of advertising is good or bad?
I think the influence of advertising is good in some certain situation. For example,
Examples.
it depends on the type of advertising. Um, I understand the advertising is kind of
Nhớ năm đầu nha. Advertising là việc quảng cáo, ngành quảng cáo.
advertising is a kind of business program.
Try to convince people to buy goods.
Yes, and try to convince people to buy goods and service. So maybe they will
Will phải win nha.
They
They will.
they will make they will trigger the they will make
They will make. They will make.
will make the benefits look larger.
Of course, they will make. They will try to enlarge. They will try to inflate. Thổi phồng lên. They will try to inflate the benefits, and they will try to hide
The
the
disadvantage.
disadvantages or drawbacks. They will try to hide the drawbacks of the products.
And
Especially if you talk about like advertisement on social media these days, TikTok, for example, is terrible, absolutely terrible.
so it's it we just based on the advertising to make the purchase decision. It maybe it's kind of less intelligent, and we can be cheated by
We
the
can be cheated.
seller.
We can be cheated,
Cheated by the seller.
cheated or scammed by the sellers. Exactly. So it's really bad. So, Ms. Trúc, do you think advertisement can influence, những âm đạo nhỉ? Influence our decisions when shopping? It depends on the situation, I think. Do you think?
Yes, I strongly agree that advertisements can significantly influence customers' decisions because they are designed to inform and shape the desires people choice in both in both good or bad ways.
Mhm.
Good and bad way. Thanks to advertisements, people can be well informed about products, service, what people might not have known about, helping them make a better choice based on the knowledge they are provided.
On the knowledge
Of
that
course,
they have, right?
yes, of course, if there's information provided by advertisements is reliable, it's a good decisions for people who choose these products or service. But reservedly, it can lead to bad influence. For example, people can become compulsive customers who just focus on buying new things without any thoughtfully
With
thinking.
any thought, right? Without any careful thought, mà không
Yes,
có
with
những
and
cái suy
careful
nghĩ cẩn
thought.
thận. Without any careful thoughts.
Without any careful thoughts. And I think it's come more and more common nowadays and should be considered.
Sorry,
Uh,
I don't understand that. When you say again?
I think this become a problem which more and more common nowadays and should be addressed.
Should be addressed, I say. Okay, so Miss Sarah, how do people usually make an important decision then? What do you think? Let's this one be the last question before we end.
Yeah, I think for making an important decision, people have different way to do. Like they may search for related information, or they can find someone they believe to get an advice. They also can they also may tend to delay and try to think carefully about that
About
uh,
that before.
before making the final decision.
Hmm. Okay, I see. So what do you think, Mr. How do people usually make an important decision? This is people in general, okay? You know, they often come to astrologers like me, decoy boy. Yeah, sure. They often go to astrologers to ask for advice, you know?
You know, it's what they say about that storyteller.
No, it's a future a fortune teller.
Storyteller, yeah.
It's
For
they got often
fortune teller.
visit and ask fortune teller for advice. No, but I'm not a fortune teller. I'm an astrologer, you know.
Ừ.
Mình là một người nhà chiêm tinh chứ không phải là mình là một người thầy bói. I'm actually an astrologer. I'm not a fortune teller, okay?
Ah. And you have a strong logic foundation.
I do. I have a strong local
Yes.
foundation for that. And I'm not just simply fortune teller. No, I'm not. Trời ơi, có bằng bên Mỹ luôn mà. I have actually have a
Yes.
certificate degree from a school in America for that. You know? So
How long? How long to take for that certificate?
it's 1 year study, 1 year study, but the exam is really, really tough, okay? Thi khó lắm luôn á, 80% mới cho đậu. Mà thi 3 lần, lần thứ ba mới đậu, 2 lần đầu rớt. Rồi mà mình nói chung là mình cũng là cái dạng mà học cũng cẩn thận, cũng thông minh mà mới cùng 3 lần, lần thứ ba mới đậu em biết nó khó cỡ nào đó. It's
Yeah.
actually a very difficult program to pass and get a degree or a certificate, you know.
Because it's quite mystery.
It's a mystery. It's a divination. Divination nó là học về thần thánh, nó gọi là thần học mà. Chứ
But
không phải
phải
khoa học. It's not a science, it's a divination. Học về những cái divine, you know, divine things.
dụng
Học về những
cụ.
cái điều thần thánh, những cái điều mà truyền thuyết, học về những cái cách nhìn nhận về trời đất của các nền văn hóa các thứ.
How to understand and explain.
Actually, it's not that hard, but it's just a lot of things to study, you know. Có rất nhiều thứ để học, học nhiều mà học mệt luôn á. Wow.
Which type of universe will has this major?
Sorry.
I mean, kiểu trường như nào thì có cái ngành này ấy thầy. Vậy cái ngành này em chưa
Nó là
nghe
một
thấy.
cái ngành nhưng mà nó một cái ngành mà nó chưa được công nhận, tại vì đương nhiên khoa học mấy cái trường bao giờ công nhận astrology đâu. Từ hồi nào đến giờ nó vẫn coi astrology là một cái ngụy tạo khoa học, giả khoa học. Nó đâu có coi astrology là khoa học đâu, tại vì vốn bản chất astrology không phải khoa học. Nhưng mà có một số trường mà học về văn hóa phương Đông phương Tây gì đó người ta có dạy nha. Ví dụ như là ví dụ như là bạn mình là một tiến sĩ dạy bên mấy trường Văn Lang rồi Hu Tech các thứ, bạn có dạy mấy cái môn liên quan chiêm tinh hoặc là liên quan tử vi chứ. Tử vi là phương Đông còn chiêm tinh phương Tây nha, nó là một cái hai cái đối trọng của nhau. Và nói chung là muốn học thì cũng có nơi đó thôi, học phí cũng tương đối là không đắt lắm đâu, đối với lại nhìn mặt bằng chung. John có dạy luôn á. I actually also teach astrology too, you know.
Nhưng
If you
thầy
want.
ơi thì
Sorry.
because, bởi vì cái môn này nó xuất phát từ phương phương Tây ấy thầy, nên là giống như là tử vi thì xuất phát từ phương Đông ấy, thế nên là người ta bảo khi mà áp dụng vào một cái phần khác, ví dụ như là ờ, chiêm tinh của bên phương Tây áp dụng sang phần phần của người phương Đông ấy, nó
Nó
có
có
khớp.
nhiều cái nó khớp với nhau, tại vì thực sự là họ nhìn nhận cùng một thứ nhưng mà với nhiều phương pháp khác nhau và những hướng khác nhau thôi. Nó giống như là em nhìn nhận một cái sự việc như vậy mà khi mà em là người phương Tây nó khác với nếu mà nhìn nhận sự việc của người phương Đông vậy đó.
Hoặc có thể dựa trên lịch âm và lịch dương nữa đúng không thầy?
Phương Tây là chỉ dựa vào lịch dương thôi.
Tức là phương Tây thì người ta sẽ xem lịch dương, còn phương Đông thì
Ừ.
người ta sẽ xem lịch âm.
Yes, và cái cách nhìn nhận nó cũng khác nữa. Like nó có nhiều cái là khác biệt về văn hóa, nhưng mà nói chung là nó đều là hữu ích và rất thú vị và rất là beneficial, rất là đem nhiều lợi ích để học.
Nhưng mà nếu mà nó là phương Tây thì đương nhiên là nếu mà có ngoại ngữ tốt, ngoại ngữ tiếng Anh tốt thì học sẽ ok hơn,
Đúng,
dễ hiểu hơn.
chính xác. Mà John có cách để mà những bạn không giỏi ngoại ngữ vẫn thể học được mà. Cho nên John có dạy mà. I actually do teach them if you want to. Dài nha, nói chung là chương trình phim tinh rất là dài luôn á, tại vì nó siêu nhiều thứ luôn á,
Nhưng
và
mà nó
xứng
có
đáng
kiểu
là
mà
hả?
có kiểu giống như là người ta hay nói là có một cái tài năng gì đó về cái đó thì mới học được không thầy?
No no no, nó dài thôi và rất nhiều thứ để học, tại vì nó xuyên suốt cái chiều dài lịch sử luôn á, cỡ 4.000 đến 5.000 năm, từ cái thời mà mấy ông như là Galen nè, Ptolemy nè, mấy cái ông vậy đó. Ptolemy, Copernicus, something like that. I'm not so sure if I write the name right, I think. Nhưng mà nói chung là chiều dài lịch sử rất là lâu đời, và nó có ảnh hưởng của Ấn Độ và của xứ Ba Tư, xứ Iran á. Và ảnh hưởng của Hy Lạp và những ảnh hưởng khác. Và nó có mượn của Ấn Độ cái khái niệm đó là cái la hầu cái đô nữa.
Ok, đến nghe dấu tử vi.
Nhưng mà nói chung là cái cách mà người phương Tây nhìn nhận la hầu cái đô nó khác với lại cách người phương Đông nhìn nhận hay đó. Ví dụ phương Đông thấy la hầu cái đô là 266 chẳng hạn, rất rất kinh khủng, nhưng mà phương Tây là nhìn nhận nó một điều khác, nó không kinh khủng như vậy, cách nhìn nhận khác nhau thôi. Ok, let's end it here, shall we? Ok,
Yes.
và chủ nhật là mình học speaking hết nha.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you then. Bye, class.
Good night everyone.
Good night, everyone.